Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've been meaning to put together a video like this for quite some time, and finally I'm in the process of getting around to it, and by the time I've finished today, this is just an intro, I should be able to put it up sometime later tonight on my YouTube channel. So welcome back. Bindara Station, probably you've never heard of Bindara Station unless you have been there, and or you know the family, and it's up in Outback, New South Wales on the Darling River, which is one of the main rivers in Australia, which connects to the Murray River. And we have a family connection with Bindara Station. It was originally a sheep station, may have been cattle as well, I'm not sure, but there's a rich history in that area. And my grandfather actually grew up on this station as a young person and left there to go to the First World War. And he was an Australian soldier, a digger. He fought in the trenches. We're lucky that he came back because he did get wounded while he was over there. But he married a young English lady over there who was my grandmother. And she came back to Australia with him as a war bride, and also their young son, my Uncle Ted. And the first 12 months, I think, they settled at Bindara Station, which is where my grandfather grew up. He was actually raised by his grandparents because he didn't have such a good connection with his dad. His dad actually ended up in jail, and I think he might have even died in jail. So anyway, he was brought up with his cousins as if they were brothers. And one in particular was George. I'll show you a picture of Bill Buck, his name was, and George in a minute. But, and I also put some links underneath about what I'm talking about, our family heritage, to, or a link to my blog where I've talked about this before with a few photos. I first went there when I was 14 with my dad and my grandfather. And then probably less than 12 months later, went back there for a family holiday with my mum and dad and two brothers. And then it wasn't until several years later that I got in contact with the current owners and arranged to have a family holiday there and stay there. And that's when we met Bill and Barb Arnold. Unfortunately, Bill is now deceased and Barb is still running the station there, and it is a tourist place where you can go and stay. It's a wonderful place. You'll see what I mean as I go through this video. So that's a little bit about it. Yeah, what else can I tell you? It's a wonderful place. And if you want a taste of the Outback and what it was like to live on a station in the old days, you'll certainly see that there. And it's been a life-changing experience in my life over the years, and I'm hoping to go back again there soon. I've spoken to Barb recently, and she's happy with me putting some of this footage up on YouTube. I've actually probably got at least 2 hours of mini DV tape taken on my Canon XL1 when we went on this original trip with the family. You won't hear a lot of the talking in it, and some of my family, for privacy reasons, I've blocked out those parts of the video. Who knows, later on I might include some more. I did actually end up going back after we went for that holiday within the same year, I think, and photographed Bill and Barb's daughter's wedding. And that was whole nother experience, which was quite amazing, really. So there you go. Sit back and watch. It might be a little bit longer than some of mine. If you like sitting around a campfire and yarning and going on Outback trips in a four-wheel drive and seeing the wildlife, this might be for you. So see if you can stick it out till the end. Maybe you won't, or maybe you just come back and play a bit more later on. I haven't put everything I've got on here, so maybe there'll be a follow-up to this one. So thanks for watching, and without further ado, before that, without further ado, I'll just see if I can find this picture of my grandfather and his cousin, George. What did I do with that? I think I had it here somewhere a minute ago. There it is. Now I'm just going to share the screen, and we'll put that up there. There you go. We'll view that full size. So that's my grandfather, Bill on the left, or on your left as you're facing the screen, and his cousin George Packer. And so we have a family connection, and over recent years I've caught up with Keith Packer, who I met when I was 14 when I was up there, and he's given me lots of photographs of country life, station life around the property of different other families and from the different stations. But there you are, that's my late grandfather Bill Buck, and a handsome chap, and his cousin George. So we'll just get back out of that. We'll stop sharing. And I'll just sign off here and enjoy watching the rest of the video.
That one from there out there.
Oh, yeah.
And bought a new one and put in this wing.
Yep, yep.
Hey, and what do you think of the light flying coming in there?
Yeah.
It's magic eye.
She gets in. It's like a cat. Yeah. Well, we went out yesterday and the bars were on top of each other. She had
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gone into them and he says they are dingo exactly.
Yep.
There is no difference between that dog and the Australian dingo, he reckons.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty good authority on it. Sort of thing. So he reckons that possibly our dingo came down from there. Originally was some of the early sailors.
Yeah.
all right.
Fat will go to one side or whatever it is, or the water, whatever you put in.
Yeah, I've probably got. It does hang crooked.
Crooked it. See,
Yeah.
a little bit of weight that holds it down.
No, I nearly did. Then I would have been in trouble. Oh, sorry. And are we going to have toast as well?
Bloke in Melbourne, he's a retired engineer, and he went into making that job brilliantly.
Where'd you get it, Mildura?
No,
Pretty good.
Just need someone on the other side to say when it's ready. Oh.
Well, you've got to be
When it's
better
on
than
fire.
them. They had the smoke alarm going this morning, anyhow, when they put toast on. Thought the joint was going to burn down.
And they always have the smoke alarms right above the toaster, don't they, in the hospital? Have you noticed? Well, where was this one? Well, we couldn't even find this one, actually.
Well, you never know when you got in.
Yeah, well, we got a brother-in-law that used to drive for Chester.
Yeah. I've made them a sort of potato. They're fine. They're just use them. Yeah, I've got back to more. There's another one there.
Assets are starting it tonight. He did start it today about lunchtime. He did it at lunchtime, so providing I wasn't too anxious with the water, there should be plenty.
I thought he was pouring a cup of tea.
No, this is part of the documentary.
Yeah, so in the morning, that's okay.
Look, you help yourself anytime. Doesn't matter to me.
Oh, dear.
Some mob got onto it in Wagga and took them to court over it. And they got a
You might have got on.
yeah. Anyhow, they ended up getting a $1,500 fine, which was nothing.
No, it was nothing to get rid of it.
But these things, and we had experts up and everything, and they said, "Oh, no, they don't breed here," and all this sort. And I said, "Rubbish!" I said, "There's birds running around down the paddock that can't fly, you know, so they couldn't have flown in."
It's all right. It's okay. Just keep going then.
Had a mirror. Yeah.
Waving outside and come and have a look.
Remember that time up at wherever we were with your father, Dad?
Other limited point.
He came
Up on the limited.
and almost looked in the car.
Yeah. Well, one did there. If you did come on in.
It takes 400 years to get a hollow in it anyhow.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, 400 years in the roots here. Yeah.
Geez.
So some malleus, we got on our block, and we had a woman out there from Greening, Australia or something the other day. And she said, "How old do you reckon this?" I said, it's at least 800. And how far would you say just run?
Just runs right into the Murray.
Yeah, you're a data there.
The brain. Yep.
Well, from what high country is it originally coming?
This comes through the Menindee Lake system.
Oh yeah. Yes, that's right. Yeah, just in there.
Down. Yeah, this is what they call Red Bank Creek.
Ah.
Packers Crossing is Tandow Creek finishes there.
Wait a minute. Don't do that. Yeah, but Oh, it wasn't focused on him.
Oh, yeah. We'll let him cross over.
So get on your side.
Emus.
There's 3 more down the paddock bill.
Yeah. Yeah, look in there.
See him at all.
Hang on.
Yeah,
There it is.
Coming-
Look,
come
it's
across
right in front of you, Jeff.
Wild pig.
what an easy target. Straight through the fence. I like the coffees better. Yeah, look at them over there. Big flock of Major Mitchell cockers. There was a big...
He's doing Jeff's real campfire.
Yep.
Make it no.
680, nearly 690 acres. Yeah, to the square mile. In the early days, because it was a high bit of ground.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, well, I see you've got sprayed.
Dad, come and see the tawny frogmouth.
Oh, is it? Yeah, frogmouth. You want to go?
Got him good. You reckon he'll fly off?
It looked like he settled for a minute or two.
Or just...
Hello, darling.
That's terrific. Nice red orange eyes.
Oh, no, look, they got a baby, but the baby, the nest was nothing. Just really, just...
That's good. Great angle.
Put one across and then try to build on it. This one they put across to hold everything. Gave away with the weight and the whole lot.
They're an attractive bird, aren't they, in many ways?
They are, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Nature at its best, I reckon.
Mm.
Too much of a hurry, young girls like they are.
Doesn't like it, does he?
No, he's a bit, he's wondering what's going on.
Can you just keep it shining on his eyes? Yep, thanks. What you doing? Come on. Go for a fly.
You want him to fly?
You reckon you can get him to fly?
Yeah. No.
That's all right. He's moving his head a bit.
Well, there's his eye.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Beautiful. Brilliant eye, that eye. It's just... What you doing? Come on.
Then he comes back, you know, late in the season with his wife. This year he come back with his one young one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I used to watch them spiral up into the and then they'd dive out of the stem flying, you know.
Yeah,
They were pretty to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the whistling eagle here, we got the kite,
Yeah,
the fork-tailed kite.
Hawkeye kite comes in.
Yeah.
Up north, yeah.
Oh, my, yeah, she's lovely.
But yeah, this one, yeah, it's about 6 years now, but he's quite tame. And I don't know where his wife goes. Well, I take it's the male that stops there until around about August,
Yeah.
and then he disappears. So
Yeah.
he might go 100 miles away for all I know,
Oh,
and
that's right.
breed somewhere,
And then come back again. Yeah.
Around and around, you see them going up, particularly now they're knocking out a few orange trees, and you've got acres and acres of bare ground, probably mice and stuff around.
And lizards, yeah, that's right.
And they can see them from such a great height.
Well, when I was a kid, we used to have a black-shouldered kite,
Yes, yeah.
and they were really pretty. And what we used to do,
I saw it.
we got it as young and we reared it, and we used to let it go, just run wild.
Yeah.
And we
I
used
could
to just
send it up
whistle
with Jeff, and then I
and
realised
hold our
it'd be a
hand
bit
up,
late.
and it'd just come and land on your hand. And then when the mating season come on, well, we put it in the cage,
We didn't take him over to the sand.
and then when that was all over, we just let it go again.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Yeah, and oh, they were just so good. And you
A
dig,
very pretty bird, black-tailed kite.
Yeah.
Those yellow talons and stuff like that.
That's right, yep. And you're digging in the garden, it used to be around grabbing any of the grubs or worms or anything that you dug up.
Now, my dad brought one home and brought them in.
Look at that. Let me zoom in.
That burnt onion right in the middle. Anyhow, that can come off of there
Pretty good.
and into the veggies.
And that's what makes it
Makes
roast.
them
Brown.
Otherwise it stews. No?
Or would have been just cooked.
It's just like boiled.
That's what I mean, stewy
Yeah,
boiled type
yep.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's better than any mussel an Aboriginal can cook.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But it'll taste all right.
Is this a knife or carton?
Nice, yes.
Not very sharp.
No, it's his own thing. Actually.
Or can you ring on your mobile?
No, not on the mobile.
Good, I thought of that after you did
Some of that,
that
Where's the
beautiful
Jew?
fat.
yeah, that's dripping.
You've got to get over to Canberra there
We
with
used to play a game.
20,000 people. Yeah, you're going to have to do it.
The whistle. One contest.
Try that when I go.
Yeah, the bull comes down and he sort of starts falling and dribbles his mouth. And this bloke bent down to pick his hat up. And the bull went bang. He ended up in the water and lost his glasses.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So they had to go, three of them had to go fishing for his glasses in the river. Yeah, and then
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not taking it back.
broke into the house down when we were away and they mowed the lawn right through the shed and we had some really big quails that would take up the whole ute. They ate 1.5 huge quails and they just put all the manure right there and I scraped up and I got, I don't know how many wheelbarrow ones I got. Roses and it was wonderful. It was so close, it was all clean, no freckles in it.
yeah.
Get all their rations for about a month. Doing their own thing at the front there, they've got no idea what's going on back.
What would they be doing, Dad? What would you...
There's a beautiful sandbar up the end there.
Yeah. Some good swimming spots. I would imagine.
Yeah, long hair. Soon after they got the ear tags. Is that so much solar?
There's another truck down there. There is a four-wheel drive down there. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely tree. Stunning. Yeah, up your head.
Is that a big canoe tree there, Barb? Just coming up to it. There's a tree up here. Is that a canoe tree?
Yep.
Dad, is it a canoe tree?
Oh, he would have seen that.
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah.
It's all burnt out. We can take this photo and so it and people send it.
Yeah.